Every time I start filming, I realize that I don't have makeup on, and I just love to have like a freshly beaten face for you all. Anyways, we're just gonna get into this intro because this is really not about any try on haul. We're gonna be talking about nails today. I recently got into doing my nails at home. This is the third time I had ever done a gel set, and I have to say, I think they turned out pretty damn good. And I figured, why not walk you all through the process of what I do, and I will link all the products of what I use below, and just like have, a little chat with you all while I do my nails. So I recently did this tortoise shell nail, and I learned how to do this from Nail Thoughts, and she had a huge collaboration that came out with Kokoist, which is a Japanese nail art company, and I bought the entire collection. And so that was how I kind of got into doing my own nails, and I just figured I would show you all how I do them. So we're gonna go through the entire gel removal process, the prep process, and then the actual design itself. One last note before we get started, I just wanted to remind you all, I am not a professional, I'm not a nail tech, I'm just doing my nails at home for that DIY nail because I love to be creative, I love to try new things, and this is just like a fun creative outlet for me, and it's saving me a ton of coin as well because designs like these definitely run you in the hundreds of dollars to get done, and I would rather do it myself if I can. So that is why I've been doing my own nails, because it's just a fun creative outlet and it's saving me a little coin. And if you have suggestions or tips or things that you're like, hey girl, you're doing this wrong, or you should think about this product, leave it down in the comments below and I will read them and respond as you all communicate with me. So let's get into this. One last cameo of these nails. Clearly, we've got some work to do. The first thing you're going to want to do is pull out your e-file. The e-file that I'm using is called the Melody Susie, and I typically like to use it at the speed of 15. And you can see here, this is what the bit looks like, and all you do is turn the little side and you can exchange the bit for whichever you are going to be using in the nail manicure process. I also use a nail dust collector. This is the INMAKER Nail Dust Collector. It's super easy to use. It has an on-off switch on the side, and you just hold your hands on top. So when you're drilling or filing, you can just put your hands on top and it collects all of the dust. I use the Melody Susie nail drill bit set, and the drill bit that I'm using to remove the majority of the nail polish from my nail bed is called the barrel ball top, and it's typically for reshaping. It's a medium grit. If you want something that's a little bit quicker, you can actually use the large barrel top, which is the one that is a square top, and that's the most coarse in the collection of bits in this kit. Using the drill that I just mentioned, I will file over the nail very gently, and I rotate from side to side of the nail in order to evenly distribute the heat, because if you spend too much time in one section of the nail, it can get too hot and potentially burn you. And one way to alleviate that, if you are a beginner, is to turn the speed of the drill bit down. So as I mentioned, I like to use mine at 15, but if you used it at 8 or 10 or even 12, that slowness will help alleviate some of the heat buildup in the drill bit. This is definitely the most tedious part of the entire manicure itself, is removing the previous gel. And because I had a really thick layer of gel for the tortoise shell style design that I had done, it definitely took a little longer than what a normal manicure would take. We are done with the first nail, and for the rest of this hand, I'm going to speed this up and let you all enjoy some music while I take the nail polish off of my nails. to the next hand. Now I'm going to be using my left hand, which is my non-dominant hand, to file off the rest of the nail polish. We are done. You can see everything looks completely free of any color on my nails, and that whole process takes me about 45 minutes to do. And now what I like to do is go in with a hand file and reshape all of my nails, as well as smooth out any of those lines or divots that are on top of the nail bed. I bought my nail files at Sally Beauty. I have two that I use. One is a coarser, more shaping style nail file, and the other one is a smoothing nail file. Both are perfect for the shaping and smoothing process, and this is what I do right before I get into working on my cuticle care. Let's speed things up and get on to the next step. Before I move on to the cuticle area, I like to dust away some of the debris that is left over on my fingers, and I am using the brush bit, which is just like a little tiny sweeper for your fingernail. And now we are on to my favorite part, which is cuticle care, and I am swapping out the bits for the diamond bit, which is what I use to remove the keratinized skin around my nail bed and underneath my cuticle area. And this works amazingly for lifting all of that skin from the nail bed so that when you get to the painting process, it really sticks and adheres really well to the nail. Because I have a serious obsession with making sure my cuticles are perfectly crisp and clean, I like to push them back with a cuticle pusher before I clip the excess skin. And the last step in the nail prep process is to use a little bit of alcohol with a brush to clean everything up and start to dehydrate the nail. Okay, so the prep process is officially done. This is what the nails look like. There's a little tiny bit of gel on the tips still, but this is what my natural nails look like. You can see they're quite long and strong. And now we are going to get to the painting portion of this video. First things first, we are going to further dehydrate the nail with Young Nails Dehydrator. This is an amazing step I definitely recommend doing in the nail prep process and nail painting process. As your nails continue to get older and you leave that nail polish on, it's less likely that it will lift in week 2 or week 3, because it's really annoying if you paint your nails and you've ever gotten them done and you notice that you start to wash your hair, you put your hands in your hair and your nail kind of starts to snag on your hair. That is because the nail polish is lifting from the area that is closest to the cuticle. And typically it's either one of two things. It's because the nail wasn't dehydrated enough, or it's because the cuticle was not properly prepped, and that's what's causing those oils to get underneath there and the nail polish to lift. And finally, we are painting the nails. I'm starting with Nail Thoughts and Kokoist collaboration Peach Base, which is a builder base gel. And this is great for helping you to build up your apex. So basically what that means is that once you've filed your nails down and everything, you've kind of flattened the nail back out, and we want that beautiful arch on our nail bed so that they just look aesthetically pleasing for when you are, just going about your day-to-day life. And I love Nail Thoughts base paint a lot. They're super easy to use and they are self-leveling as well. So essentially what you'll be able to see is that I'm kind of floating a little bit of extra nail polish on the nail bed to build it up. And this also helps with strengthening the nail too. So if you're a person who has weaker nails or anything along those lines, using a builder base gel can be super helpful for giving you that extra strength that you need. And now we're just going to do that to the rest of the nails. Again, adding on our layer and then a little bit extra of the base gel to build that apex up. And I like to do this one finger at a time because when you're putting so much nail polish on top of your nail bed, it can basically leak and then it gets onto the sides of your cuticle and it causes lifting. So just do it one at a time if you're going to be building up your apex or adding in that extra strength to your nail. And once you have painted your nail and it looks beautiful and perfect just as you like, you're going to go ahead and cure it in your nail lamp for 30 seconds. And you all know the drill. Let's speed things up. Now that I've got my base coat down, I'm deciding whether I want to go with a blue theme or this really beautiful forest color green that I have from Kokoist, and I can't wait to get the design started. The Kokoist gel pots are definitely a much thicker consistency than a traditional gel that you would use, and when you use them with really high quality brushes, it's quite easy to kind of float the nail design onto the nail itself. And so as you can see, I just basically dragged that brush right across the nail to create the design for that nail. I love nail designs that have negative space, and that is what this nail design is based off of. Each nail will be designed a little bit differently, which is what I love about negative space nails. It's much more abstract, and together the entire nails all look like a piece of artwork. Colors that I am using for this nail design are called Pistachio Bread Pudding and Olive Satin Leather. They are both really gorgeous colors, and I love how they look on my skin tone, and they work really, really well for full coverage. I went ahead and filled in my nails with the same detailed line brush that I was using, just because it was an easier application process for me than using a smudge or smush nail brush that I also have. show you all was my top coat application. I used Nail Thought's top coat, which is a much thicker viscosity than a traditional top coat and is perfect for covering up brush strokes for nail designs. So this is a 10 out of 10 in my book for the type of nails that I like to do. And this is the final look. These are a gorgeous duo-toned abstract nail, and I absolutely love how they turned out. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next one.